So we're joined by Diane Gagnon, who is the principal at Gerena School in Springfield's North End. WGBY was really tracking and following the progress in construction with the Gerena School all last spring. And we have an update because we were also really following the academic progress as well. You walked in to Gerena School and it had very low test scores, and I think that's a pretty nice way of putting it. Things have changed in the last few years under your leadership. Tell me what the latest is.
Well, the great news is that in the 3 years that we've been there, we're just starting our 4th year, the Commissioner of Education has deemed that we are ready to exit our level 4 status because of that significant growth. So that's huge performance-wise, double-digit increases in all content areas, English, language arts, math, and science. So we are very excited to be exiting that level 4 status.
And just so viewers understand what a level 4 status is, that is among the most struggling schools in the state of Massachusetts. And to go back, in 2009, before you arrived, if my numbers are correct, 0% of 3rd graders and 0% of 4th graders were at or above proficiency in math.
That's
just
correct.
An example. That's stunning. You know, somebody looking from the outside is saying, that's where you're starting, pretty much at ground zero. How did you improve those scores?
Well, it was a concerted effort of the entire staff with the support of the district. Sometimes people just need to, they're not aware of what they're not doing, so we made a culture of awareness of what specific teaching looked like, explicit modeling, and we drilled deep down into what the skills that students didn't have, and developed lesson plans to get them moving forward.
When you came in as principal at Gerena, obviously you knew you had a big job. Some people might throw up their hands and say, forget it, you know, that this is just not possible. You've been an educator for 28 years. Yes. I know you believe in children. Can kids learn? Can they improve? I mean, are all kids capable of making the grade?
Absolutely. There's a lot of research out there, but we all learn to speak, and that's the hardest skill actually that you'll learn in your entire life. So if all of our children are speaking, they have the conditions necessary to learn. We just need to tap into how is it that we're going to support that learning. So barring extreme mental disabilities, every child is capable of success, and I think that's the premise that we went on with the staff, that we, as their teachers, had to find what's the trigger for each child so that they can succeed. And we're not at all where we need to be yet, but we're approaching the 60% mark in our CPI, and that's a really good place to be.
So you have to work on the sustainability portion to get out of level 4 and stay out of level
Correct.
4 to move into level 3. So what is that going to look like?
Well, along with the district, our school has to come up with a plan because, you know, there's always this infusion of money when you go into a reformation like this. But now that 3 years is over, how are we going to sustain the current level of support for our students? So that's what we've been at the drawing board doing. And we're just about finished. We finished up on Friday, and the draft is being finalized. The district's been outstanding in doing their share so that we can keep all of the staffing. And our physical plant, which I know you alluded to, has been greatly upgraded in the 3 years that we've been there. So I think we're poised to have the commissioner accept our plan and move forward.
So you talked a little bit about the construction as we followed Gerena School through our WGBY series. Obviously, the issues of the water leaking in the tunnels and all the different construction problems had come up. You're in the middle of that, trying to boost test scores. How is that working through that, and what does the school look like today?
Well, the physical plant itself has received a lot of upgrades. With air filter handling, the air conditioning systems being upgraded, and the district's got a long-range plan in place for renewing all of it because it's old. The building was built in '75. They've just about come to a conclusion on how the water seepage, where it's coming from and how it even got to be at the point it is. They've installed a new playground and regraded some of the exterior portions of the building, redid the roof. So the amount of water coming in, I know this sounds kind of ridiculous, but there's minimal water coming in now. So the next steps that the district is committed to is to reopen those spaces that did have severe water damage over the last 10 to 15 years so that they can be functioning again. So they're on their way.
Right, this is more of a political question. I know there were many naysayers who said, gee, is it even worth pouring money into this school? And you kind of have to navigate in the midst of all that. Are you confident that that Gerena in a few years is going to be a school that maybe people look to and say, hey, look, this is where I want my child to go?
I think they're already saying that. We have a waiting list because we're a partial magnet program. People do want to go there. We also have teachers trying to get in there, not only from within the district, but from out, applying to come in. So I think that kind of speaks well to all of the educational policies that have been put into place, as well as the results that have come out for testing. And the community has been very supportive of all the initiatives. So I think we are going to be, yes, check, check, check on all of the things you just mentioned.
And yes, you have had great success, but I know that you're probably a perfectionist. This is not the end game for you. Where do you want to be?
Well, I'd like to see Gerena be a level 1 school, which means we are achieving at or above level in all 3 subjects. And to that end, we've already become an anchor school for Cornerstone. It's becoming a teaching model, sort of like a teaching hospital, but a teaching school. So we're getting the systems in place to make that a reality. Most changes take at least 7 years. We've done a great flip in just 3. So I anticipate that we will get there. I was at Lincoln before, and they did achieve level 1, so I think we can replicate it.
All right, Diane Gagnon, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck. I know you have a lot of work to do, but you're up to it.
Thank you for having me.